Hello gorgeous besties, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name is Rachel. Happy Bookmas Day 4? 5? I have no idea when this is coming out. Time is an illusion. Happy Bookmas. How are we? Happy December. I am very excited about today's video because it is going to be a 24-hour readathon reading vlog. This is my last one of the year and it feels crazy. I have done many of these throughout my time on BookTube, but I feel like I really hit my stride over the last year doing 24-hour readathons and having so much fun with them. And you guys seem to really like them as well, so I'm so excited for this weekend. And this 24-hour readathon, it's gonna be a little bit different because I am doing a themed 24-hour readathon, and the theme is going to be Christmas romances. I am so excited. I am so ready to read cheesy Hallmark Christmas romances all weekend. I have so many that I'm curious about, so that's what we're gonna do. I hope you guys are excited. So how I do a 24-hour readathon, today is Friday when I'm filming this. Hello, how are we? Tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm gonna read for 12 hours tomorrow, and then I will read for 12 hours on Sunday. So I do like to split up the 24 hours, just keeps my brain from not turning into goo, and I find it fun. I feel like I can read more. I feel like I am able to give you guys more thoughts, and that's what we want, right? So I am going to start tomorrow morning. I kind of want to get up early. Oh, also, this is my first time doing a 24-hour readathon, like in our new house, which I don't know if that's important, but it's just exciting. Like the last time I did this, I didn't live here, which is crazy. So it's been a minute. It's well overdue, and I'm super excited. So maybe I'll start around like 6 or 7 a.m. tomorrow if I am feeling wild. But let's talk about a little bit of a TBR that I have set for this weekend. So number one, I picked up Wreck the Halls by Tessa Bailey. And I do want to say for most of these Christmas romances, I don't really know the synopsis of a lot of them. I've just like heard really good things, and like they're Christmas romances. Like they're all going to be generally the same. But for this one, we have a standalone holiday rom-com about the adult children of two former rock stars who team up to convince their estranged mothers to play a Christmas Eve concert. So we shall see how things go. Tessa Bailey and I have a, back and forth dynamic. I have loved one of her books, like loved so much, and then I've been like lukewarm on others, DNF'd others, really have done kind of a full journey with her. So I'll be curious to see what I think about this book. I know that Tessa Bailey can deliver on just comedy in a romance, and her spice is usually pretty spicy. So I'm looking forward to that. One of the books that I'm really looking forward to that I have very, very high hopes for is How the Grump Saved Christmas by Claire Kingsley. This cover should be in the Louvre, I'm pretty sure, because it is stunning. It is the most like cheesy Hallmark Christmas book cover I've ever seen in my life, and I cannot wait to read this book. In this book, we have our main character. Her family owns a Christmas farm and it is in trouble. They are, I think, like running out of money, and then her ex is named Elias Stoneheart, which is hilarious, and he is in the business of making money, and if he can convince this family to sell their farm, he will make a lot of money. But I think spending time with his ex and just having the spirit of Christmas inside of him, I don't know about that, but having the spirit of Christmas around him, is going to maybe warm that stony heart of his. And I've heard such good things about this book. I heard it's super fun. I am so excited. This literally sounds like the synopsis of a Hallmark Christmas movie, and that is the highest compliment I could ever pay to a Christmas romance. So I'm very excited about this. Okay, and then I do have a few on my Kindle, so I'm looking on my Kindle app on my phone. Number one is Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. This came out today. Today is Friday, December 1st, but I've seen so many good things about it. I think it's like a brother's best friend fake dating during the Christmas holiday season. The cover is really, really cute. I want to pick this up. Oh, another one. Oh God, I just opened it. That book was Holiday Romance, and I did get that book on audio, so I might listen to that one on audio, but I've heard really good things about that as well. And I don't know, I have a few more, so that's 4. I also have The Mistletoe Motive by Chloe Leese, which would be a reread. I read it last holiday season, and it is fantastic. It's also super short, so it's really good for a Christmas 24-hour readathon. I'm also considering Tis the Season for Revenge. We have a lot of options, basically, is all I have to say. I'm definitely going to scour BookTube and Goodreads for some more Christmas romance recs, but I think I have a pretty good list going so far. So I hope you guys are excited for today's video. I hope we walk away with some genuinely good romances and we just have a great festive Christmassy time together. I'll probably watch like a Christmas movie tomorrow as well once I'm like done reading, and yeah, it's gonna be a really good time. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow morning once my 24-hour readathon has officially begun. Hello besties, it is Saturday morning. I'm officially in my 24-hour readathon. So as you guys saw, I started my readathon at around 8:30 this morning. I did not get up at 6 or 7. That was a cute idea, but it wasn't gonna happen today. So I got up around 8 and then I started my readathon at 8:30. It is now 12, so I am, 3.5 hours into my readathon, and I am 55% of the way through my first book. I am reading it on my Kindle, and that is Holiday Romance. I have to say, thus far, I'm really enjoying this book. I'm really glad that I started with this one. I am listening to the audiobook a lot too, like while I've been getting ready. Number one, the narrator has an Irish accent, which is always gonna get me, but I have found this romance to be super cute so far. So this is Andrew and Molly's story, and this is kind of like a friends to lovers over like a decade type of romance. And essentially the plot of this book is Andrew and Molly are both from Ireland, but they both live in Chicago, and how they know each other is in the beginning of the book, Andrew is dating one of Molly's friends, and she ends up breaking up with him right at the beginning of the book in a really bad way, and Molly feels like really bad for him, and they kind of like form this friendship from this awkward situation. But coincidentally, they end up on the same flight to go home for Christmas from Chicago to Dublin, and they end up sitting next to each other. And then every year it just kind of becomes this thing that they always end up taking the same flight from Chicago to Dublin to go home for Christmas, and they always end up sitting next to each other, and they form this really cute friendship. It's really sweet. It's very platonic though. They both have dated people over the years, and we do a lot of flashbacks. So we will go to the flight 8 years ago. What was the flight like 7 years ago? What was the flight like 6 years ago? So on and so forth. And then in present day, it's the 10th time that they're doing this flight together. They have this really great friendship, and there's actually a storm over the Atlantic, so they have to kind of do this like planes, trains, automobiles type of situation to get home for the holidays, and it's like very chaotic and very fun. And while they are trying to make it home to Dublin, flying all over the place, taking trains, doing all these different chaotic things, their feelings for one another kind of start to come to the surface, and it's been very cute. This book has like a ton of banter. The Christmas vibes are like pretty good. They spend a lot of time in London during Christmas, which is really sweet. And then also once they are home in Dublin, which is now kind of at the part where I'm at, there's definitely a Christmassy vibe. But I think one of my favorite things about this book, which is so strange, is I realized I just love books that take place like in airports and airplanes and travel. I don't know, I really like that, and that is a huge part of this book, so I really enjoyed that. And I just really like Andrew. I think he's super swoony. He is such a good friend to Molly, and I think their romance is kind of the situation where they've always liked each other, but they genuinely haven't really realized that until now. They're kind of both in the same place in their lives, and it just kind of makes sense. I don't know if it's like a 5-star at the moment, but I am really enjoying myself, and I'm excited to see how things progress to lovers, because right now we're like friends to somewhere in the middle, but hopefully the lovers is coming soon. But yeah, so far I'm really liking this book. I have no complaints, and I'm excited to see how things end. So that is going to be it for now. I'm probably gonna finish this book, and then I'll let you guys know what I thought of it, and then I'm not sure what I'm going to start next. I'm thinking How the Grump Saved Christmas or Wreck My Plans, but either way, I will talk to you guys in a little bit with more reading updates. Hello bestie queens, how's it going? I am here to let you guys know that I did finish my first book for this 24-hour readathon. It is quite a bit later. It's actually 4 o'clock right now, so I am 7.5 hours into this 24-hour readathon, and I've only read one book. The reason for that being is I did take like a 2-hour break unintentionally. Normally when I do a 24-hour readathon, I am just reading, that is it. I'm maybe taking a 30-minute break once or twice, but I'm very strict with myself. I read all day. But we got a Christmas gift from my dad and stepmom, and it's a little outdoor fire pit, which is really cool, and we set it up and we like sat out there for a little bit. So real life got in the way, apologies, but we are back to very strict time schedules here. However, over the last couple of hours though, I did end up finishing my first book for this 24-hour readathon, and that was Holiday Romance. You guys, this was so good. It was so cute. It brought me pure joy, which with a Christmas romance, you want to feel happy, you want to feel the Christmas spirit, you want to kick your feet a little bit. All 3 of those things were achieved. So I absolutely loved this book so much. I read it on my Kindle, but I think I'm gonna buy a physical copy because 100% I want to reread this like every holiday season. It was so good. I loved the dynamic between Molly and Andrew. Friends to lovers is such a great trope, and I absolutely loved their dialogue. The dialogue in this book is so well done. The humor in this book I really liked. It was smart, quick, witty banter, which I really enjoyed, and I didn't feel like there was this overwhelming cheesiness with like the Christmas aspect either, because obviously a Christmas romance is going to be cheesy. We allow a little bit of that, but you know, there's always a line, and I truly feel that Holiday Romance handled that really well. I loved watching Andrew and Molly kind of reveal their feelings to each other and also kind of discover their feelings for themselves, all set to the backdrop of Ireland, which was so fantastic. And also, this book had a really big focus on just like family, and you know, Andrew has this very like Christmassy family. He has a huge family and they love Christmas and they make a really big deal out of it. And then Molly has a smaller family and they don't really do a lot for Christmas, and she kind of questions her, not like whether her family loves her, but like just they're not super close, and she sometimes doesn't really know how important it is for her to even come home and visit them. And the just focus on family and just like family love during the holidays was really, I think, really well done and a really nice touch in this book, and it just gave me the warm fuzzies. And I don't know, it was just like a really sweet, wholesome book, and I really enjoyed it, and it was so funny. Like truly, I really loved it. So many witty characters. I feel like even the side characters had life to them. I love Molly's twin sister Zoe. She was very funny, very sarcastic, and I love this world. I want to meet Andrew and Molly and hang out with them on Christmas Day because they seem so much fun and their families are everything. So really love this book. I gave it 4 stars. It's really hard for me to give a romance 5 stars. I'm kind of learning that about myself. Watch, I'm gonna give a romance 5 stars in this vlog as I'm saying that. 4-star rating for me for this romance is fantastic. So good. You guys should pick this up. I loved it. It made me really happy. But I think my next book is going to be Wreck My Plans, which I believe is by Jillian Meadows. I'll put a picture up. This came out yesterday on December 1st, and I'm hearing really good things. I think it's best friend's brother, and I think it's fake dating, and I'm here for it. So I'm gonna get started with that, and I will let you guys know what I think. Hi besties. Okay, it is literally only like 30 or 40 minutes later. I am only on page 30 of Wreck My Plans, but we need to talk. I need to just discuss the feelings that I'm having while reading this book. I never check in this early, but I just want to like make note of this now. I'm really hoping that things go in a better direction, but thus far I am finding both of the main characters to be like, I'm just not really feeling them. I'm not really vibing with them. So I think I told you guys this is like brother's best friend, and I think there's gonna be fake dating, but essentially Lena is our female main character. She comes home for Christmas and she surprises her family for Christmas. And then her brother like walks in the room and is like, oh my God, Lena, you're here. And he brings in his best friend named Gavin. And Lena has not seen Gavin in 3 years. And for whatever reason, she is pissed when she sees him. She is so mad that he is at their family Christmas, and she acts literally so immature in this moment. Number one, nobody knew that she was coming, and Gavin only came because he knew that like there would be an extra space available because Lena wasn't supposed to come. And so he walks in and she's like, what are you doing here? And you know, everyone explains like, oh, we didn't think you were gonna be here, so we have extra room. Gavin said he would come, blah blah blah. And Lena is all pissy about that, and she does something so annoying, and this is like weird. I don't know why this bothered me so much, but she's like holding her 1-month-old little baby nephew, and he walks in and she's all pissed, and then I think she passes the baby off to someone else, and then she like has this little interaction with Gavin, and Gavin is very like shy when he comes in. He's not like engaging her, whatever. And when she realizes that Gavin is here and he's gonna be sleeping in her room, she like storms off into the bathroom and like slams the door, and I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, she is giving me the ick. I don't know. Like, normally it's male love interests that give me the ick. She is giving me the ick. I have secondhand embarrassment. She literally like threw a tantrum and stormed out of the room because this guy is here, and we don't know the history yet. I have no idea what happened between them before he left, or like why he left or anything like that. So like I'll give her some time. She's got a few more opportunities to like make me not feel this way about her, but I don't know, that just so annoyed me. And also I'm like, such a small weird thing, but I'm like, your 1-month-old nephew is in the room and you stomped off and slammed the door like to the bathroom, like when there's a little baby in the room. Why would you do that? I don't know why that particularly really irritated me, but I'm getting just very immature toddler throwing a tantrum vibes from her. And then Gavin, we do get his POV, which is great. I'm really glad that this book is dual POV, and essentially it seems like he's super into her, and not just like, oh, I've always had a crush on her, whatever. Like, he seems ready to propose, which I'm like, Gavin, don't do this to me. Please do not make this an insta love situation. So I hope that he pumps the brakes a little bit, but he just said something that once again kind of made me cringe. I'm getting a lot of ick and secondhand embarrassment, and I'm only 30 pages in, so we're not doing well. well. Lena and Gavin get set up in this situation to have to go to like another town to get specific food at a grocery store, and Lena comes out of the house and she's wearing like all these bright colors. She's wearing like a red jacket and green pants and a yellow hat and purple boots because she's just colorful, you know, the embodiment of like a sunshiny character. And then Gavin, after noting like all of these, you know, colors that Lena's wearing, he in his like internal monologue, he goes, but you know, that's not me. I'm wearing all black. I'm wearing a black shirt, a black jacket, black jeans, black shoes. Oh, and did I also mention I'm wearing black boxers? And I was like, okay, Gavin, we get it. You're edgy, you're cool, you're not like other boys. I get it. It reminded me of Cole Sprouse's character in Riverdale when he's like, I'm weird. I'm a weirdo. Why do you see me always wearing this hat? Because I'm a weirdo. Like, I can't. I'm sorry. So thus far, these characters are like not doing it for me. I'm finding them both to be irritating in their own way, and I really, really hope that that changes. I am very curious to see, why does Lena hate Gavin so much? Like, she is pissed when she sees him at first. And oh, she also says something so annoying too. She's like, nobody told me that Gavin was coming. What the hell? And I'm like, babe, you surprised your family for Christmas. Of course they didn't tell you that Gavin was here. I don't know. She feels really immature. So I'm having an interesting time with this book thus far. I'm only 30 pages in, so I'm really concerned with the fact that I'm already like, I've rolled my eyes twice. You guys, okay, I've physically rolled my eyes while reading this book twice. I'm really, really trying to keep an open mind, but thus far the characters are not super likable. So I just wanted to note that right now. I'm finding them a little cringe, and I hope that things get better, but I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep reading. Wish me luck that things get less secondhand embarrassment and icky, please. Hello, my loves. So I believe it is like 7:30 p.m. So I'm almost done with my 12 hours of reading, and I'm almost done with Wreck My Plans. I was reading for a while and I was like, okay, I need to film a check-in, and I thought I was maybe at like the 50% mark. I'm 77% of the way done with this book. I had no idea. So I have really flown through it, which is good. But what is not good is I am still not enjoying this book. I just don't like it. I normally, if I'm really not liking a book, I'll DNF it for sure. Like, I don't enjoy, you know, hate reading or forcing myself to read something. But because I'm reading just like a bunch of Christmas romances this weekend, I wanted to finish it, and because it kind of like just goes with the theme, and I have plans for what I'm going to read tomorrow. And also because this book is only 265 pages, I'm like, okay, I want to push through and see what happens, just because I'm doing a 24-hour readathon. I want to challenge myself to get through this book. So at 77%, I have not found myself falling in love with really any aspect of this book thus far. I particularly I'm not into the characters, Lena and Gavin. The romantic dynamic is not one that I find appealing. I don't root for them. I don't really understand their dynamic. And yeah, I'm just not really liking anything about the book, unfortunately. Let me just tell you guys kind of where I'm at and what I'm not liking. Where I am at in the book, as I said in the beginning, Lena and Gavin, they kind of got off to a rough start because Lena kind of just threw this tantrum that Gavin was there, but then she very quickly got over that and was like, okay, I'm gonna be nice to him, and like, I'm gonna be normal. And then she started like flirting with him really hardcore, and they're building all this tension between them. And then they decide to have a like, let's get it out of our system moment by like doing it and then being like, oh, we'll be fine after this, which obviously never works in every single romance book I've ever read. Never works. But that's kind of where I'm at in the book right now. That is where they are at. And that is one of the advertised like tropes, by the way, so that's not a spoiler. But the overall dynamic between Gavin and Lena, I'm just really confused by, and I don't really understand where they stand with each other. I think they don't understand where they stand with each other either. Lena, Gavin, and I are all very confused. But let's just like talk about each of the characters individually so I can kind of break down my thoughts here. So Gavin is, number one, super, super, super into Lena, as I said. Like, he isn't just like attracted to her. He has very, very strong feelings for her, which is just not my perfect formula for a romance. I like that tension. I like that slow burn. I like that even if they do have these strong feelings for each other, I like the author to kind of take some time to reveal it, or just have our characters go through a few things before those things get revealed. I thought that maybe there would be some context for Lena and Gavin in the past, like having a relationship or having some type of romantic something, but it seems like they never did. I'm 77% of the way through. It seems like she was just like his best friend's little sister who he was attracted to, and you know, he was kind of jealous of her boyfriends and things like that. And you know, from Lena's perspective, she was always attracted to him, but it kind of just, nothing ever actually happened between them. So I just find the intensity of feelings to be a little bit unbelievable. And like, I'm not buying it at this point. I don't know what it is. I feel like it's way too much for what we, the reader, have been given context to. And then let's talk about our girl, Lena. Honestly, I think that her dialogue is like the cringiest, unfortunately. There's a couple more things that she has said and done done that I'm just like, Lena, what are you doing? She also says like 2 lines of dialogue that I just made me cringe, where I think Gavin says like, hey, I'll drive your car. And she says, no, I'm not a passenger princess. I'm driving. And then she drives, and then on the way back, he's like, hey, I want to offer to drive. It's snowing, whatever. And she's like, nope, I'm no passenger princess. And the term passenger princess, I know it's probably been around, whatever, but like it feels so specific to like 2023. And I dislike when phrases or memes or pop culture that are so specific are referenced in books. It really just takes me out of the story. I'm like, I want this romance novel to exist in some type of imaginary fictional world, because like the passenger princess meme was like very popular in 2023. Once again, I don't know when it originally started and all of that, but like I feel like this year is when a lot of people started talking about being a passenger princess and blah blah blah. Seeing it written in a book is not my fave. I just don't really like that, and I just don't like this book. I'm sorry, I just don't. Things were really like awkward in the beginning, and then they were just like flirting hardcore, but Gavin is like trying to hold himself back so hard. And in my mind too, I'm kind of like, why are you trying to hold yourself back? Like, be with her. You're so close with this family. Like, it's okay. It's not working for me. The way that this has been written is just like, it's not doing it for me. So that is where I am at with Wreck My Plans. I am going to finish it. As I said, I only have a little bit left, and I'll kind of see how things end, but overall, I'm just not finding anything about this book to be enticing. Also, as far as like the Christmas vibes go, it takes place like over the Christmas holidays, like December 23rd, 24th, 25th. It doesn't feel Christmassy though, at all. This book could be taking place at any time of year. I don't think that the Christmas elements are significant to the story at this point. So yeah, I honestly don't like this book, and that sucks because I was really excited for it. So I'm gonna keep reading, and I will talk to you guys either tonight or tomorrow with my final thoughts on Wreck My Plans. Hi besties, happy Sunday. So it is day 2 of my 24-hour readathon. It's actually kind of late, later than I had anticipated checking in with you all for the first time today. It is 12:53. I started my readathon at like 9 a.m., I think 9 or 9:15, and I've spent the morning on Lachlan's Patreon sprints. We had so much fun, and I did get a little bit of reading done, and I think I'm gonna like take a break and eat lunch right now, but I did just want to check in with you all regarding Wreck My Plans and then the book that I started today as well. So as you guys can probably guess, I did not enjoy Wreck My Plans, and I gave it 2 stars. It didn't work. It didn't work for me. I did not like the romance. There was some miscommunication happening as well. That was kind of the main conflict in the romance, and I totally get and respect that there was some like trauma that happened that impacted our character's ability to communicate. I just didn't enjoy the way that the romance kind of played out. It just wasn't my thing. So that is, you know, one part of it. Honestly, the biggest part for me though is it was just, I don't know, the dialogue just, it gave me the ick. There were more things too that the characters were saying that I was just like, why? Another thing is, I guess when Gavin and Lena were kids, like them and all of Lena's family talked about what animal are you? Like what animal represents you the best? And Gavin was like a fox, and then Lena was like a tiger, and she's like, I'm a tiger because I'm fierce and I'm strong and I'm independent, blah, blah, blah. And then Gavin like gets all very serious and is like, no, you're a tiger cub, because even though you're all those things, you're also like really soft and sweet. And like anytime this would get brought up, the whole like, I'm a tiger thing, he would go, no, you're a tiger cub. Like, are you guys cringing watching me right now? Because I'm having trouble even saying this. Like, what is that? Why am I supposed to like find that to be cute? Because I don't. And it's just like a strange distinction too. I'm like, tiger versus tiger cub. So you're saying that she's like just a baby version? Like, not my thing. And also I forgot to mention that he has a nickname for her, and it is My Little Menace, and he calls her that all the time. And there was like a spicy scene and he called her that like 6 or 7 times during that, and I was like, okay. I'm not huge on nicknames like that. I know that it happens a lot, especially in fantasy romance. In fantasy romance, I don't know what it is. I'm so much more willing to like suspend my disbelief and all of that, because I'm like, it's fantasy. And you know, like sometimes it's cute. I know in Belladonna, Death calls Cigna like little bird or something like that, and like, I think that's sweet, and I don't think he overdoes it. But when you are a 39-year-old man calling your 29-year-old love interest my little menace, I just like, what? Like, I don't know. I know I'm harping on it, but I just want to let you guys know I'm not into the dialogue. So if those things sound cringy to you, I promise you that continues throughout the entire book. And it just wasn't for me. I will say it is like a pretty spicy book though. And I mean, it's pretty short. I also think too, another thing like the Christmas elements, which obviously that's like what I'm looking for when I'm reading a Christmas romance. I don't think they were significant. I said this yesterday, but I'll just say again, I think this book could have happened at any time of year. I don't really think the Christmas elements felt super significant. So I don't think that you're gonna get even just like a fun, cheesy, but like very Christmassy experience out of this book. I don't know. I didn't like it. It wasn't for me. So done with that book. I gave it 2 stars. And I am now on to my 3rd book of the 24-hour readathon. So that is How the Grump Saved Christmas by Claire Kingsley. I'm only like 105 pages into it. It's pretty short though, but I'm really liking this book so far. Number 1, it takes place in Washington, which is so cool. There's like multiple places that have been mentioned in the book thus far that I'm like, oh my God, I've been there. And so that's just always fun. Always a nice surprise when I see that. And we have dual POV and our characters are Elias and Isabel. Isabel works at her family's farm and they have like a Christmas village aspect of their farm in this small town, and the farm is not doing well. They're running out of money. They're in debt. And then Elias is, I believe, like a real estate or like commercial property broker, and his company wants to buy their farm, and he also used to date Isabel. And so they are reunited after like many years, and he is very cold-hearted. His last name is Stoneheart. So he's very stone-hearted, and he is just this very, very grumpy person, very non-emotional, doesn't like Christmas, doesn't have the warm and fuzzies for this time of year. Isabel is the complete opposite, and they are basically, you know, kind of just fighting over, she doesn't want to sell the farm and she's not going to allow Elias to do that, but I think Elias is like trying to convince her that it would be good for her and her family. And so that is kind of the dynamic of this book, but I am really enjoying it thus far. I like the writing. I like how grumpy Elias is. He's truly like a negative person, which I'm enjoying. And there are definitely very snowy and Christmassy vibes. I'm liking this. I'm really enjoying it. I'm probably gonna go eat. I might listen to the audiobook and then I'll check in with you guys later when I have more thoughts. Hi friends. So it is the next day, and let me tell you, I hit a wall yesterday, and so I'm really sorry. I only read 1 book yesterday. I took my time with How the Grump Saved Christmas, and I'm excited to talk about that. But you know, 3 books in 24 hours, that is still pretty good. I wanted to read a little bit more, but I got so tired, and I just really, really wanted to only read 1 book. So that's what I did. But I do want to talk to you all about my final thoughts on How the Grump Saved Christmas, and then we will wrap up all 3 books. So overall, I thought that How the Grump Saved Christmas was a very, very cute book. I enjoyed myself. I don't think it's this, oh my God, I want you guys to all go run out and read it immediately, but I think it does get the job done for a Christmas romance. I thought it was cute. I thought the Christmas vibes were definitely there, and I enjoyed myself. I have to say, I just didn't find the romance particularly swoony. I don't feel like there was a ton of tension between these characters. It was like a perfectly fine and enjoyable read, so I gave it 3 stars. I liked it, and 3 stars for a romance for me is pretty good. I did enjoy the Christmas aspects a lot in this book. I thought that those were very well done, and it was cute. It just like didn't blow my mind or anything like that, but I am really glad that I read this. So let's do a wrap up of all 3 books that I read this weekend. Number 1, Holiday Romance. She's the star. She's amazing. Truly, I had so much fun reading this book. I've been sitting with this and thinking about it, and this definitely gives me like Emily Henry vibes. I think that this feels like an Emily Henry book a little bit, with a few exceptions. I don't think it's as emotional as Emily Henry's books have been, especially as of late, but I feel like it could definitely fit into that realm. I also feel like this author writes spice the same way that Emily Henry does, so if that is something that you enjoy from her, it's very minimal, it's very surface level. Yeah, you might like this. And I had so much fun watching this Friends to Lovers romance. I thought the Christmassy vibes were really good. So overall, this is a 4-star book. Really liked it, and I think a great Christmas romance for you guys to read this season. Then we have Wreck My Plans by Jillian Meadows. I read this on my Kindle, and you know, I feel bad. I was like watching back the footage. I was really harping on a lot of the dialogue, so I apologize if that was annoying. I was just like, I really didn't enjoy that book, obviously, right? I think everyone can tell. And the dialogue just really, really bothered me. And I also just don't think that the romance was very well developed. I didn't feel that these 2 characters were building and creating a, you know, fun romance, and it just, I didn't find it enjoyable to read at all. So that's a 2-star book for me. I will say though, it is the spiciest book that I read this weekend, so something to consider. And as far as the Christmas vibes, I mean, they're there, but I don't think that they are like significant to the book. So do with that information what you will. And then I read How the Grump Saved Christmas, which definitely has the best cover. I thought that this was solid. It is a Christmas romance, and it does get extra points for being in Washington for me. And it's definitely like grumpy sunshine, and I don't know, overall, it was good. It was fun. It just didn't blow my mind, but I would still like recommend it in general if you want to read a a Christmas romance this season. All right, my friends, so that is going to be it. I hope that you all enjoyed this 24-hour readathon reading Christmas romances. If you made it to this point in the video and you wanted to let me know, go ahead and leave the red heart and a Christmas tree. Please make sure that you're following me on Instagram and Goodreads. They are always linked down below. Really appreciate that you watched this video. I hope that you're having a fantastic day. I love you all so much, and I will catch you guys in the next one.